Hi guys, a very good morning and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. So there is more trouble in the cockpit as ZANU-PF is indefinitely postponed its planned thank you rallies across Zimbabwe. So what is happening is that there is internal strife over the events which have been viewed as an agenda to push President Emmerson Mnangagwa to have a third term in office, or to have an extended term in office. So the new slogan which was recently launched in Masvingo yekuti 2030 vamunangagwa vanenge vachipo, which was corroborated by Kembo Mohadi and other senior ZANU-PF people, it has triggered a lot of tension within ZANU-PF party ranks. At this moment in time, VP Chwenga is quite strong and fierce in terms of his political shield. He does have solid structures behind him. A lot of people they believe that President Mnangagwa is creating a dynasty, and there is an agenda to try and stop him, or to try and wrestle the party from his family. So they are actually saying that he must complete his term, step down, and allow VP Chwenga to take over. So the development came after the ruling party then moved on to disown the slogan yekuti 2030 vamunangagwa vanenge vachipo. Some party structures, especially the publicity department or the communications department, is trying hard to disown this statement, or to distance ZANU-PF from this slogan, despite open chants by some youths in Masvingo, as well as corroboration from Kembo Mohadi, the VP, and other senior leaders from Masvingo. So some ZANU-PF members believed to be a faction aligned to Mnangagwa launched this 2030 Mnangagwa Nenge Vachipo, and this is the slogan which is causing a lot of trouble and a lot of chaos. So sources within the ruling party, they are claiming that Mnangagwa is increasingly being pressured to hand over power to Vice President Constantino Chiwenga, and they indicated that this was due to a precedent which was set by the November 2017 coup, which the late former President Mugabe was overthrown. So what is happening is that although according to Newsday, this is yet to be verified, the succession dynamics, Mnangagwa was supposed to serve one term and cede power to the former army general. So Mnangagwa's allies are now pushing to declare him president beyond 2028, and this is where his term ends, and they are trying to widen the rift between the president and his perceived enemy because of these factional fights. So in an exclusive interview with Newsday on Friday, ZANU-PF National Political Commissar Mike Beam then said that the 2030 Vamunangagwa Nenge Vachipo slogan was not recognized by the party, and the commissariat then said that they don't have a new slogan. So if you take a look on the critical role played by the commissariat plays a role, a motherly role, or vatete role, an anti-role, where it has to serve everybody, each and every member of the party. It must not serve a certain faction, and that is what went wrong with the faction of or with the leadership, or with the commissariat led by Xavier Kasukuwere. He failed to be neutral. If Kasukuwere had distanced himself from the power struggles as the commissar, if he had stood as a neutral person, attending to both factions, the G40 and the Lacoste, there was great possibility that we would not have seen the army intervening in the nation of Zimbabwe, because they were not going to be given reasons to be able to do so. But Kasukuwere then failed as a political commissar to do just that. He then favored a certain faction over the other, and that led us to what happened in November 2017. But what is at stake is that if you take a look on what is happening ZANU-PF is trying by all means possible to make sure that they harness cooperation, number one, from the region, number two, from African counterparts, number three, from other stakeholders within the borders of Zimbabwe. You've seen several meetings are being held, and they are trying to canvass support for the young Mnangagwas. If you take a look on the young deputy minister, he has been positioned well to make sure that he gets influence in the region, in the SADC region, as well as other regions and later at the African level. But the problem with the Mnangagwa faction is that the only people who are serious about this power struggle are the people who are very close to President Idi Mnangagwa, and this includes the family. But if you take a look on other people, they are not seriously involved in these things, or they are not strategically positioned to make proper decisions when it comes to the issues of succession. So there is a grouping, a very powerful grouping, which is breaking away from ZANU-PF structure, solid structure. These are people who never held positions, but have spoken vehemently for ZANU-PF in the past. We have the likes of Ana Kudza MTC, the likes of Ana Rutendo Matinyarare. These people have been influential in terms of ZANU-PF policy, but they were not part of the structures. So these people are now being recognized, especially by the security structure, as people who can communicate a message as to its intended people. So you would see that this is the problem which the Mnangagwa faction is facing at this moment in time. The sons, they've been implicated in the Al Jazeera documentary, The Gold Mafia. Who authored that Gold Mafia documentary? Nobody knows who is actually behind that documentary. But what is of significance is that they've tried by all means to label or to paint the first family with the dark brush, which means everything they're going to do, they would not do it in agreement. Also, there's an issue of Wikino Chivayo is playing influential politics there by dishing out cars to musicians and other popular ZANU-PF people. The major problem is how selective this process is. There are several people who feel that they worked so hard for the party, but their efforts are not being recognized. So if you put everything together, then you see the reason why there is discontent. But what is very important is to note there is a funeral which happened in Rutenga, and a lot happened during that funeral. A lot of people who attended that funeral, especially the lower ranked ZANU-PF officials, they felt outsmarted by the people who were in charge of that funeral. They felt that they were not recognized. They felt that the people who were there, especially the senior people, they didn't recognize them enough. So all these problems are arising, and this is leading to more divisions, especially within the Masvingo region. And when the Masvingo region is divided, then you have to kiss a goodbye for any possible extension of a third term or a third term. So this is what is happening. A lot is happening. There are fractures everywhere. But ZANU-PF, it seems as if VP Chiwenga is successfully pushed for ZANU-PF to suspend whatever which is happening across the country, especially the issues to do with the thank you rallies. The major reason why they had to suspend is that they fear that what happened in Watsomba is likely going to happen. And if it happens that President Emmerson Mnangagwa is booed publicly, then it becomes a problem. Yes, President Mnangagwa can address one or two government programs and invite a lot of supporters, but what is of importance is to note that if it is a ZANU-PF rally, then you have to go to all 10 provinces, which means these are going to be 10 provinces, 10 rallies or more. And among all those rallies, you will not miss being booed at one rally. That is a very, very critical or a very major concern at this moment in time. And That is the reason why they had to shelf this idea of thank you rallies. So a lot is happening, and remember, VP Chiwenga then spoke, and when he spoke, he seemed to attack Nelson Chamisa, but he said something very important. He invited Nelson Chamisa openly to join hands with or to join ZANU-PF officially. So let's just assume that Nelson Chamisa joins ZANU-PF. What will happen? So you find that it's something very difficult to understand, Kuti, what is really happening. Yeah, it means if you take a look on the elections, how they happened, a lot of people within ZANU-PF supported Nelson Chamisa. And if Nelson Chamisa is to join ZANU-PF, then there will be trouble and chaos everywhere. That will be the collapse of the leadership of Emmerson Mnangagwa. So a lot is happening, and we'll continue to watch and see and understand how they're going to deal with this matter. But at this juncture, ZANU-PF is now fragile and is self-destroying.